Hi, I'm Aishwarya Venkatesh. Let's continue talking about communal chauvinism and its serious repercussions in this video. The prevalent issue in recent times is honor killings. Honor killing is a murder of a member of a family due to the belief that he or she has violated the principles of a community or a religion. Typical reasons for such honor killings include having associations with social groups which are disapproved by one's family, or having homosexual relationship, or refusing to enter into child marriage or forced marriage, separating from one's spouse, or becoming a victim of rape or sexual assault, or having premarital or extramarital affairs, etc. News regarding honor killings would be the most daunting and harrowing ones ever. On 14 September 2018, a Bihari boy hired by Amrita's father, Maruti Rao, killed Amrita's Dalit husband Pranay in broad daylight when he was exiting from a hospital with his pregnant wife Amrita. Maruti Rao took his own life when he came out on bail after 7 years of imprisonment. Similar incident happened in Udumalaippet, Tamil Nadu, when a married couple, Kausalya from Deva community and Shankar from Dalit community, were attacked in daylight on 13th March 2016 by a gang of three armed men. While Shankar died on spot, Kausalya survived with injuries. A 27-year-old Sarjit Kaur Atwal was murdered by her mother-in-law in collusion with her husband after she found a new partner and started divorce proceedings against her abusive husband, as it was considered that divorce would bring shame onto the Atwals. 16 years old pregnant Dalit girl strangulated to death and later mutilated by her own father and brother in Shahjahanpur district, Uttar Pradesh, for bringing shame to the family by getting pregnant. This whole concept of honor killings is a fast growing plant from a seed called religion. It's high time that we cut off the root and stop the rage budding from communal chauvinism. Just imagine how immaculate our country would be if there were no religious institutions. Secondly, revocation of Article 370, a constitutional provision which grants special status to Jammu and Kashmir, which allows the state to have its own constitution, its own flag, and to take its own decisions, except for matters relating to defense and foreign affairs. Along with revocation, the state was divided into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir, which has its own legislation, and Ladakh, which is directly ruled by the central government. What is the base for all these? The conflict dates back to 1947. The entire subcontinent was divided into Hindu majority India and Muslim majority Pakistan. During the partition, Jammu and Kashmir and few other states were not divided between India and Pakistan. Due to this, huge violence arose in Jammu and Kashmir. Since then, India and Pakistan had fought many wars to attain full control of Jammu and Kashmir, but only control parts of it. Under such circumstances, Modi government introduced the legislation that I mentioned earlier, that is the revocation of Article 370, arguing that it is important for India's government to strengthen its influence over Jammu and Kashmir, which is the only Muslim majority region in our country. However, introduction of such legislation was viewed as a tool of hostility by Muslim population in India. It is obvious that neither the introduction of such legislation nor the opposition to it would have come if humanity was viewed as the only religion. Imagine how cool it would be. Lastly, let me emphasize on the 2018 abduction, gang rape and murder of a 8-year-old girl, Asifa Bano, in Rasana village near Kathua in Jammu and Kashmir. This incident created widespread social outrage. The most horrible part of this whole incident is that communal aspects were introduced into this case. The accused belonged to Hindu community and the victim belongs to Bakarwal community. Bakarwal people are the Muslim minority living in a Hindu dominated Kathua district. An organization called Hindu Ekta Manch was set up in support of the arrested people, claiming that they were innocent. Also, right wing Hindu activists threatened Asifa's father, asking him not to bury Asifa in Hindu dominated Kathua district. Also, the lawyers went on protests in front of the Chief Judicial Magistrate's office in Kathua in support of the arrested Unichis. I don't understand one thing, how these people are able to even support such a ferocious incident. Such bloodthirsty misogynists are the root for the demolition of our future India. Communal hypocrisy is completely destructive and it can be stopped only through serious contemplation over secularism. The history of modern India has witnessed many incidents of communal violence, including the destruction of Babri Mosque in Ayodhya by Hindu nationalists, the Godhra train burning incident, the 2002 Gujarat riots, etc. We have many movies such as Nadodikal, Sairat, Dhadak, Bombay, Heram, Pareerum Perumal, Kadal, Dev, 1947, Gypsy, Nagar, etc., which portrays communal violence and communal riots. Change can be achieved easily by starting off with the millennial generation. Justice is not a right, it is a need. Let us all come together as a community of mankind. Jai Hind.